Right guys, welcome back to the channel. In this video I'm just going to be showing you how to install a SRAM Force 1 clutch type rear derailleur to your bike. So I'll go ahead, we'll run through the steps. Right, so here we have the clutch rear derailleur, SRAM Force 1. Now I'll just point out a couple of things on it before I start installing it so you can just see closer up. Now you've got the pinch bolt there, 4mm hex head. This piece here is where the cable comes through. So the cable comes through here, through the barrel adjuster, around here, inside this bit, comes out there into the pinch bolt. So it goes inside there, comes out that hole there, and into the pinch bolt there. So that's that. Then you've got the B screw is there. Then you've got the high and low screws at the back there. These are 3mm hex heads, these, for those. Then you've got the main mounting bolt down in there, which is a 5mm hex head. And what you've got to make sure is when you're putting this onto the bike itself, make sure that that hasn't moved. Make sure it's touching on the derailleur hanger where it should be. Make sure it's touching the derailleur hanger and it hasn't been moved out of the way when you're tightening the bolt up to mount it. Make sure that is actually touching, otherwise you're not going to be able to adjust it, because you can see there the B screw comes through. The B screw comes through there and touches on there. Your hanger touches on there, so you won't be able to adjust anything if it's not in the right place when you initially mount it on. So it's also because these have got the roller bearing clutch in them, obviously they're hard to move. You've got to really pull on the cage, like so, to get it to move. A lot of force on it. Now you see there's a button there. You think you press it, it doesn't do anything. All it does is you pull the cage right forward like that. It's hard to do. Then press the button at that point there when it's on the bike, and then it puts your derailleur like so. So that's just to make the chain go slack, so you can remove and install your chain easier. Then all you do is pull the cage forward and the button pops back out like so, and then you let go of it, and then your chain obviously be tightened up then. Then obviously you've got your barrel adjuster on the back there, adjusting the cable tension. So I thought I'd just show you that before I mount it on there. Right, so first of all I'm going to lock the derailleur, the cage, forward with the button I said about. So I'm locking that forward, and then making sure that I said about the lug is touching on your derailleur hanger when you go and mount it in. Just 5mm hex head. Make sure you put some grease on your mounting bolt as well before you screw it in, just to help stop it getting stuck in there. Make sure you don't cross thread it when you're screwing it in. So I'll just get it started, making sure the tab's touching, screw it all the way in. So that's touching, and just snip it up. You can torque it up at 8 Newton meters, be fine for that. Right guys, so the next stage is doing the limit screws. Now as you see there, you got your high screw on the inside and your low screw on the outside. So the high screw, well, hex head is 3mm, is adjusting the, setting up the limit of the lowest at the back. So the high screw, the inboard one. So if your derailleur comes somewhere like that, so as it's nowhere near the 11, the guide wheel there, top, when you're looking from behind or down from above, it's got to be in line with the 11 tooth. So to do that, you just locate your high screw there, and then if I turn it, you'll see by turning it anti-clockwise that the derailleur is moving over to the outside. Obviously I haven't got the cable connected or anything, this is just moving anti-clockwise and bringing it over, so when it's dead in line, looking from the back, then just stop turning it. You can look down from above and check it as well. You just look down and see where it is. Make sure it's in line, and that's the high screw set up. Right, so to do the low adjustment screw, which is the top guide wheel in line with the largest at the back, so say you're 32 for instance. So what you want to do is, I've locked the cage forward on the derailleur out of the way, so it makes it easy to push across. You can just get hold of the derailleur, push across like so, then lift it up and just see where it's coming to, just see if it's in line. Look from behind, make sure it's in line. And to adjust it, it's the 3mm, the outside screw there. So you can adjust that screw over until it's in line. Yours might come out of the box and it only gets to say 3 sprockets away from the top. So you just go ahead and adjust that so as it gets over to the largest in line. Once you've made your high and low adjustments, then you're ready to do your cable. Obviously what I've done is let the cage back to its normal position now before I go ahead and hook the cable up. Right, before you put your cable through and before you do up your pinch bolt, make sure that you've got your lever click down to the 11 at the back first of all, so the lowest one at the back, before you go ahead and do this. And also be careful that when you've got the derailleur sat there like so, as you can see it's just sat in position, make sure that the B screw, so that's the one, the top here, make sure it's going through and it is touching the stop. So it's not like that, so there's a big gap. Make sure that the B screw's screwed in and it is actually touching something and it's not just floating in thin air. Because when you snug up the cable, when you're pulling on the cable and snugging the cable up, sometimes without you knowing it, you could have a gap like that and you're pinching the cable up, but you didn't realise that the B screw's not actually touching. So just bear that in mind. Another thing to be careful of is when you've got your derailleur set the lowest, before you pinch your cable up, when you're pulling on your cable to pinch the bolt up, you can pull too hard on it and you're ever so slightly moving the derailleur over one without you realising, and then you're pinching the bolt up. So you could be one tooth across just by pulling on the cable too hard, and you're moving the derailleur and then pinching it up and then wondering why you got up to your shifter to try it and you're missing half the gears. Just be careful you're not pulling the derailleur across in any way. Right, so what I'll do is, we've got our cable here, and I'll go ahead and just show you how it goes through. So you put your cable through your barrel adjuster, like so, pop it in place. Like I said, what it does is it goes down, it'll go down through, but you just put it through there and you'll just see it'll come out there like so. So it goes like that and it comes out there. And then it's a 4mm, so you get your 4mm, slacken it off, put it in like so. Once you've got it in there, pull on it as tight as you can, and then snug up the pinch bolt in that position there. Just snug that down like so. Right, so I've pulled the cage down. Now I've used the button there to install the chain. See, that's what it's for. Just takes all the tension off. So make sure you've got your chain routed through properly. So I'll get this joined back together. Right, so when you're ready to do B-screw, obviously I've still got it set in the lowest at the back. I haven't touched anything, just put the chain on. So the B-screw, at the moment it'll be adjusted, I've adjusted it wrongly just to show you the principles of it and what it's doing. So I'll go and shift up across the cassette. Right, so I've gone across to the 32 in this instance at the back. Now, if you see there, I'll try and show you it best I can. You can see that the guide wheel there is right away from the, it's right down there, away from the, it's nowhere near the teeth of the sprocket, the largest sprocket there. It's off down there. As you can see, I can fit my finger through there as an example. So if that's the case, what you need to do is just adjust your B screw there anti-clockwise, and it brings the wheel closer, the guide wheel there, closer to the cassette. So you want to adjust it so as you've got enough gap there for the chain to pass through without fouling the top jockey wheel. It wants to pass through cleanly off the bottom of the cassette and then onto the guide wheel. It doesn't want to be right down here somewhere, the guide wheel. If you move the B screw, it just puts the guide wheel further and further away. You want about a chain's width so the chain can pass through there. And if you're shifting across the cassette and you find that you're going across and your guide wheel stops somewhere here, nowhere near down here, it's just getting stuck there, wedged in the cassette, then you need to adjust your B screw to bring the guide wheel out of the way as you're changing across with the chain on, so it brings it out of the way so you can get to the largest at the back. Otherwise you'll get stuck somewhere here on the cassette, so you need it, adjust it so as you get to the largest, but there's only about a chain width gap so the chain can pass cleanly through and onto the guide wheel. If you don't have it adjusted right, it can affect shifting on the down change as you're coming back down the cassette. It'll make it sluggish back down the cassette if it's not adjusted correctly. What I'll do, I'll try and demonstrate it for you. You got your barrel adjuster there. So say, for instance, I'll just turn it anti-clockwise, and already you can hear that it's adjusting. I'm not changing gear, I'm just pedalling the crank, pushing the crank round and adjusting this, and you can hear that's not adjusted, you can hear that. So if you've got that case, just a case of adjusting your barrel adjuster until it's smooth. It's just an example. If you're getting a bad gear, I could adjust it. I could turn the barrel adjuster, keep turning it, and it'll be miles. It's just tensioning the cable and it'll change gear on its own. I'm not doing anything. I could just change that by just adjusting the cable tension. And if I adjust it far enough, obviously you keep on winding it, but what it'd be doing, messing up the other gears. So if I go and change now, you can hear that the bottom doesn't like it because I've adjusted it too far. Got noisy there, it's trying to skip, it's trying to come off of the cassette. So if you adjust it back over, I'm not going to change gear, it'll do it itself. As you can hear there, it's trying to change up to the next one. So you don't want that to happen, so you just adjust it back again. Just a minute bit at a time until it's nice and quiet. That's all it's doing, it's just tensioning the cable. Right, so once you've made your fine adjustments and you're happy with everything and it's working correctly, then you go ahead, snip your cable down and put a stop on the end. Right guys, so there's the installation complete for you, so follow the steps and you should be able to complete it at home. So if you found the video helpful, give it a thumbs up. Remember to subscribe to the channel for more cycle related content. Till next one, ride safe and I'll see you then.